Welcome to the viewers. We have been discussing the lessons in the business environment, where we need to understand that the MBA course is most different from other courses. Unlike post graduation courses, other courses focus on furtherance of a particular subject, whereas the MBA course focuses on decision making. So, people coming from different disciplines like engineering, doctor or computers or agriculture at the graduation level, they will be coming over to MBA, do MBA to learn the decision making. Once they become managers, they need to take decisions in the business, and every decision will have a serious consequence of millions of dollars or rupees that we invest. So, we need to focus on the decision making, which is crucial. For that, we need to have where are we operating, what is the micro environment in which we are operating, and what is the macro environment we are operating. In the micro environment, we discuss about the direct relationship with the customers, suppliers, employees, boss, etc. Whereas, the macro environment, you will not be interacting with the macro environment directly. However, the impact of macro environment on the business firm will be extraordinary, and macro environment will not be in the hands of the decision maker, while the micro environment can be molded according to the requirement, according to the dynamics of the manager. Macro environment is not in our hands, we should mold the firm according to the requirements of the macro environment. So, in this we have demographic environment, then technological environment, social environment, cultural environment. So, in this lesson today, we are going to discuss the cultural environment, how it is going to affect the business firm. The best example I can quote you is the Fair and Lovely. Once upon a time, Fair and Lovely company, Fair and Lovely was a brand name used throughout the world, but Afro Americans have objected to it, saying that Fair and Lovely shows that only fair can be considered as human beings, and those who are not fair, those who are blacks, they are not considered as human beings. So, they objected. That had a serious effect on the firm, and they had to change the brand name. Today, it is not Fair and Lovely, it is Glow and Lovely. So, brand name also has to be changed. Similarly, there was another example where 13 stars were there for the Pond's brand name. That was objected because the crescent moon and the 13 stars were considered to be the Muslim symbol. So, that was objected. Like that, the cultural shocks will fall on the organizations if we do not understand the culture and the cultural environment. So, being a decision maker, we should be able to have a clear idea about the culture, about the cultural environment. So, that is where we are looking here. Let us start with the concept of culture. What is culture? In fact, culture, different people understand culture in a different way, but a comprehensive definition is given by Francis Merrill and others. Culture is defined as a shared values inherited from parents, nurtured by the teachers, developed by the neighbors, and accepted by the society in which one lives. See the 4 levels at which culture gets groomed. The first is inherited from the parents. When a boy joins in a primary school, If they are studying in slum, if their students have come from slums, it is possible that he does not comb his hair, he does not wear the dress properly, he may stink. So, in such case, the first thing they will ask is, who are your parents? So, from parents we learn. The first teacher is the mother, and of course, next to mother is father. So, from father and mother values are inherited, this is known to us. Then you find at the primary school level they nurse the culture. What do you mean by nursing the culture? I can give you an example, my own example. 60 years back, not 60, 65 years back, when I was 3 years old, my primary school teacher called me and said that, did you brush your teeth? During that time brushing teeth was not there, we were doing with hand. That also, did you do it? I did. I said no, because I came early or rushed to the school. Then she asked me to come out of the class. She gave me a charcoal, asked me to crush with my teeth, and she used her hand to brush my teeth. I remember that even today, after 60 years. I always take care even today, whether I am stinking, whether my mouth is stinking and others are affected. That is what my teacher has told me. This is called nursed by teachers. So, culture is nursed by teachers. She made me conscious about my teeth and smell, odor, by making me to clean my teeth in the school, by pushing me out of the school, class. That is nursing by the teachers. And developed by neighbors, who from morning to evening, how many hours you are spending. People who are groomed by ayahs will get only ayah language. People groomed by Montessori schools, they will have trained teachers to nurse them, develop them. So, daycare, which daycare you are admitting, what daycare we are admitting, how the students are treated there, how do they make, if a boy cries, sometimes they give some chocolate which have got make him to sleep, then that is bad. So, how you develop the neighbors with whom you are moving, what is your environment, what is your ecosystem, this plays a significant role. And then culture, what is accepted by the society. See, a lady smoking cigarette is strongly resisted in a village. They will object, they will not tolerate you, they will shout at you, they will beat you also. If a lady smokes in Hyderabad, people ethical eyebrows are high. People, ladies smoking in high-tech city may not object, people do not object. If a lady smokes in Bombay, nobody takes objection. If lady does not smoke in London, people will look what is happening to that lady. So, cultural difference you find at different places. So, what is acceptable in London is not acceptable in Mumbai, what is acceptable in Mumbai is not acceptable in high-tech city, what is acceptable in high-tech city is not acceptable in downtown of the Hyderabad or the old city of Hyderabad. So, that is the difference culture. So, we share values, the sharing of values differ from place to place. So, culture is the totality of the learned behavior. So, it is not instinctive behavior, it is not animalistic behavior like Freud says, but it is a learned behavior. They learn from parents, they learn from teachers, they learn from neighbors, they learn from society. So, Francis Merrill formulates the concept of culture as follows. Culture is characteristically human product of social interaction. It provides acceptable patterns for meeting biological and social needs. See, even biological and social needs, how do you eat? We eat with fingers, whereas in Western culture they eat with spoons. So, how you eat how you meet. In Western culture, if you go, there will be toilets while going in a national highway, but the toilets are clean and you are supposed to use the soap and also the tissue paper. We do not have such facilities in rural areas here. So, how that makes the difference? It handed over from generation to generation in a given society, and it is a meaningful human being for a symbolic quality. It is a symbolic, we call it a symbolic culture, because when we say like this, it is a culture of Sanatana Dharma. Whereas, if you use Mundi Pet Me Rakho, that is a Muslim culture. So, that is a symbolic quality. Culture is a basic determinant of personality. A person's personality also is important. Symbols, gesture, what gesture you are making, how you sit in a seat, how you respond to the others, how you give second. When you give a second, if some people give very strong second, that shows he is very confident and also came from a higher family. Whereas, people coming from a lower family giving a second to a person wearing a suit will be smooth, will be touch, will be little bit inhibitant. Such symbols we can understand through culture. And the body language, slang you use, common phrases that we use, all these things make the difference. The slang that we make, you see the generation gap today. We use English language at our age, whereas a teenage boy today uses the WhatsApp language. So, that is the difference you find, cultural difference. The values play a significant role in the culture. Values are convictions, values are standards, values are benchmarks. What for you are standing uncompromising? No, I am not going to compromise. I do not change my stand, you say. What is that? That is a value. Mahatma Gandhi, for example, stood for the truth. Truth is the value for which he stood. Everybody need not have same values. For example, Subhash Chandra Bose, he is also a great leader. His values are different from Mahatma Gandhi, but Subhash Chandra Bose is equally respected with Gandhi. So, that is the difference that we find in culture. And norms. What are the norms? Norms means expected behavior. Suppose a classroom is going on. In classroom, when the teacher is speaking, students are expected to be silent. When teacher is speaking, somebody stands, somebody moves, somebody goes out of the room, making sounds in the while opening the door and closing the door. It is unexpected behavior. What is expected behavior is, what are the items through which you get hurt? Same thing you should not do to the others. That is the expected behavior. If I get hurt with somebody, I should not do the same. That is the one. So, boundaries of society are decided based on the expected behavior of the others. That is called norms. Then belief. People believe. Sanatana Dharma believes in rebirth, whereas Muslims do not believe in rebirth. They consider this is the life. Christians do not believe in rebirth. So, it is a belief. Having a long beard is a belief. We must respect the belief. The cognitive elements, individual knows how to cope with existing social situation. Say for example, the moment snow time comes, a Kashmiri knows how to behave. If we go to Kashmir, we do not know how to behave. So, place to place is different. So, these are the elements of culture. The culture is most important part in business. The importance of culture, if you look into it, culture is a treasure of knowledge. If you go different cultures, if you start learning, it is a treasure What we eat, what we wear, what we drink, how do you work, all these are conditioned with the culture. What we eat, if you look to the South Indians, good olden days we were eating rice, whereas North Indians eat roti, but today it is changed. Today you find people eating roti, jawar roti is eaten by elite families. Once upon a time jawar roti means only the poor were eating and poor were not eating rice. Today the rich man is buying at a higher rate, jawar rate, and going. So, it conditions. Why is he behaving like that? Because of his diabetic or whatsoever. So, condition situations also are important. Culture defines the attitudes, values and goals. See, your attitude towards marriage, your attitude towards living with other sex, your attitude towards behaving with other sex, everything is defined by culture. Living together is not acceptable in our Sanatana Dharma. Living together is not acceptable in Indian culture, it is not acceptable in Muslim culture, it is not acceptable in traditional Christian culture. However, today across the world living togethers have come. So, there is a culture undergone a change. So, culture influences your career also, it sets the limit on our choice of career. If somebody gets a choice of career, if he gets a good job in leather technology, somebody may not join. So, this is a his culture plays a role on that. Culture directs the behavior pattern we dream, aspire and work. So, what for you are dreaming, what do you aspire and how do you work makes the difference. If you love the job, your way of working is different. If you do not like the job, your way of working is different. So, it influences your personality. It prepares a man for group life, how to behave with others, how do you respond to the others, that is the that depends upon the culture. Some people get socialized, some people do not get socialized. I can tell you one beautiful example. When I had been to Ethiopia and working, my daughter was studying 7th class. She went to the class. Many students have come, hello, 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 they wanted to give shake hand. My daughter said no, sorry. So, they have accepted, that is a different story, but when we crossed the country, the culture, they are not bad, they are not good people, they are all good people, but giving a shake hand and giving a hug is common in Ethiopia, that is not common for me. So, it prepared, after some time, by the time she completed 10th class, she also accepted the shake hand. So, that is a change. So, it influences the personality. Culture makes a human being, it makes totally your design for living, how your way of living is also undergoes a change. Sometimes it gives solution to the complicated situation. For example, there is a metro rail is there, people are just rushing to enter into it and then there is jostling, that shows the bad culture. Whereas, queuing, if you forming a queue is the culture of America. I have seen, they automatically, they do not press the horn, they drive very slow and they do not go bumper by bumper. So, what is important is the culture, that makes the culture. Culture broadens the outlook of the individual sacrifice. So, sacrifice is our culture, sacrifice does not come every time. Culture norms influence communications. How do you communicate? Let us say how nearer you are with the people. If you are very nearer to the person, then you are afraid of the odor, therefore, you keep a distance, that comes from culture. Yeah, sense of belongingness, unity of community, sense of belongingness also comes from culture. So, these are all the importance of culture. This is the dimensions of culture which I am going to speak, is very important while dealing with the people. What is a cultural dimension? What are the characteristics? What are the strategies in business we should apply in order to be successful there? I will list out about 10 items, 8 items are there. Even if I miss few, you can look into the PowerPoint. Universalism, for example, is the culture of the cultural dimension of USA, Canada, UK, Germany, Australia. What do you mean by universalism? That means throughout these countries work culture is same. What is that? Rules come before relationship. Whether it is the President of India son or the son of a corporator, it makes no difference on a road. They have to be in the queue, they have to follow the traffic signals, that is all. And work culture also, people should work according to the rules. You cannot violate the rule, you cannot overtake from left, you cannot overtake from right, because there it is a what do you call left hand side onwards we overtake there. You cannot overtake from right there. Like that, it is called rules based. Processes and procedures keep promises and the consistent. People keep promises and also it is a consistent. This is the behavior you find strategy. Then you find the other countries like particularism, Russia, Latin America and China. Their particularism, it is not, it is a particular thing that is important. That means, let us say relationship dictates the rules. It matters with whom you are talking. In America, it does not matter whether you are talking with the president also, you say Mr. President and you never say sir in USA. Whereas in Russia, at other places, your relationship is important. How do you, who is involved makes all the difference. Therefore, you must be flexible how you make decisions, and you also to take time to build relationship. Unless you build good relationship with the clients, you cannot become a good businessman in Russia. You do not have to build any relationship in America to do business. Today you go to America, tomorrow you can do business. As long as you are doing the rule business as per the rule, there is no problem in America. Then you find individualism. Individual is very important in America, UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, in all these countries. So, personal freedom is given maximum, achievement is given more important, taking care of yourself. I had been to American airport, I was struggling to carry my bags, then the one lady came, shall I help you? I looked at her, she must be around 75, I was only 55. Then I was shocked, 75 years lady, he is trying to say that shall I help you. When I tried to volunteer help, she said, oh thank you, I can do it by myself. They do not entertain help from others, they know how to take care of themselves. That is individually. Even a 3 years girl, my granddaughter when she was in America, wearing the shirt, wearing the jacket, the schools train in such a way that they do it by themselves, wearing the shoes by themselves, they do not ask the parents to do that, here we do it. So, that is the difference you find. The strategy will be obviously praise and reward individuals. You need to praise your employee individually and you must give incentive to the individual as such. Such things are important in America. Similarly, communitarianism, you find communitarianism means community is more important than individual. This is there in Japan, Latin America. That means group is important, not the individual. So, group always comes before the individual. So, if you there will be what you call incentive for loyalty to the group, that is important. So, praising the reward for the group, that is important. Group performance is important than individual performance. You do not reward individuals in Japan. If you praise any individual, then they will find it objectionable. Whereas, similarly specific you have Switzerland, USA, Germany, Scandinavia. These countries, they keep work from personal life separate. You can't say I am feeling with fever, I am not feeling well today, my son is not well, my father is not well, all such things you cannot tell in the work. Work is different, and then the living is different. You can't complain personal lives, they do not care. So what they will say? If you have leave, apply. If you do not have leave, then go on loss of pay, but there is no question of giving any complaints, going for 1 hour, 15 minutes, etc. So, focus on people's work objectives rather than relationship. Relationship is not important there, but work is important. Diffuse Argentina, Spain, India, etc. In these cases, overlapping the work and personal relationship. So, in this case what happens is focus on good relationship is more important, because unless you be good with the people, you can't do business there. We have two more, like neutral. What is a neutral behavior? Neutral behavior, if you take UK, Sweden, Netherlands, Finland, reason is more important for them than personal feelings. Reason influences actions. That means logical, reasonal, rational behavior. There is no question of personal feelings, emotions, they do not work. So, manage your emotions effectively. Nobody will manifest their facial expressions also in America, in UK, Sweden, Netherlands. So, stick to the point in interactions. You talk only business, you do not talk any personal things in these countries. Whereas, in Italy, France and Spain, emotional is important. That means people manifest emotions at work. In Italy also, their facial expressions are important. So, open up there, you can express your feel, open up to build trust and rapport. So, you need to effectively do the conflict also. If there is any conflict, you need to talk to them. So, this is about the point. So, impact on business, if we take impact of culture on business, culture creates people. We talked about different countries' cultures, we talked about time, place and also the geography, but once you join for a long time in a company, company will develop its own culture. For example, Tata Group company culture is different from Reliance Group culture. Tata Group you find is totally different. How it is different we can discuss thoroughly. Reliance, they give more importance to the results. Tata gives more importance to the means of achievement. So, that makes the difference. Integrity, for example, Tata never gives bribes to the government officials to get contracts. So, it is a Tata company. Similarly, in globalization, work motivation, negotiating styles, also cultures differ, they play a role. Language and business, you say unsaid is more important than silence. If you have silence, how you do it is very, very important. So, we have seen all these cultures. What is important to us to remember is to, while taking decisions, we must know what is core value of the culture, what is changeable value of the culture. Once you know changeable value, there is no problem. Cultures which can be changed will change. Otherwise, we need to understand the core cultural values which cannot be changed, and decisions should be taken accordingly. Otherwise, we will be a failure in taking decisions. Thank you.